If you ever wonder, why is it that you constantly have negative thoughts and negative events and negative circumstances keep happening in your life? And if you wonder if it is possible to stop these negative thoughts and how to do it, then this video is for you, because I'm going to share with you a way of thinking and some tips that will help you start seeing life positively and also attract positive things to your life. The first truth that you need to know is that life is not negative or positive. Life is. What you put after is what you are going to receive in your life. If you believe that life is negative, life sucks, life is bad, life is hard, then it is what you are going to get constantly. If you think that life is positive, life is great, life is beautiful, it is a gift, and you are constantly attracting amazing things, and you believe that you are a lucky person or you just enjoy simply life, then this is what you are going to receive in your life. Life is neutral. It doesn't have an opinion. It doesn't have a judgment. It doesn't differentiate what is good from what is bad. This is up to us, human being. And we do it through what we call experience, human experience. And human experience is very unique, individual, and subjective. It's based on your unique perspective and perception of anything. So mainly, your definitions of whatever is happening in your life is what is going to make the meaning of your life and the events that are happening to you. When you believe and perceive everything as negative or here to damage you or to hurt you and to prove to you that life sucks, that is what you are going to keep attracting to your life, and vice versa. I think that the most important thing to ask ourselves is not why does life suck or why do bad things keep happening to me. This is the wrong question, in my opinion. And you are not going to get the answers that are really going to get you out of this cycle. What you need to ask yourself is, first of all, what is your definition of whatever is happening to you? Are you defining it as something positive or are you defining it as something negative? You can also sometimes just choose to define things in a neutral way. You don't have to always give a meaning to everything. You don't always have to give an emotion to anything, because through the way you are defining and interpreting something, you are going to generate beliefs about it and thoughts about it. And those thoughts and beliefs are going to translate into feelings and emotions. So if you define something as negative for you, you are going to have negative emotions towards it and towards anything that is similar to it. When you have been or constantly listening and seeing and hearing peoples that are criticizing life, criticizing themselves and others, and maybe criticizing you as well, maybe they have a negative attitude, you are going to be associating everything that you experience to their own way of thinking and their opinion. So you are going to have an experience that will be based on the ideas and the definitions that you have received from them. If your parents, for example, as a reference, we idealize them, so whatever they say or do, and especially what they do, is for us a reference. If they are feeling bad, we will feel bad with them, and we will associate whatever that made them feel bad as for us bad. When we start becoming aware of the definitions that we have towards anything, we will make a huge step towards eliminating our negative thoughts, beliefs, and actions and move towards a more positive and optimistic attitude towards life and events. Self-awareness is going to help you, because when you become self-aware of how you are feeling, what is the reaction that you are having towards any specific event, you are going to notice how are you experiencing it through your feelings, simply through your feelings. We know how we do feel about anything. If we are feeling sad, we know that we are feeling sad. If we are feeling happy, we do recognize it. Rather than just reacting through our emotions, we need to take a step back while we are having the emotion to observe it and understand what emotions are we feeling. What is the definition that we are giving to this thing? If I, for example, constantly feel negative, I constantly feel sad, I'm afraid, I might have a lack of self esteem, I constantly doubt myself, maybe I judge myself very harshly, I constantly criticize myself. Those are things that you are aware of because you are experiencing it. It is something that you are generating, maybe unconsciously, but if you stop before you react, you are able to distance yourself. So it will not be who you are, it will become what you feel or do or say. And this is really important because this distance of the observer of yourself is very powerful. From that point, you are able to already understand if you are a positive or a negative thinker, if you are an optimistic or not. I noticed that a lot of people are trapped in the situation where when something bad happened to them, they don't ask the right questions. They usually confirm to themselves, you see, I told you that people are bad. I told you that I am not lucky. I told you that I only attract bad circumstances to my life. Why does it keep happening to me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with others? Maybe life is punishing me. Maybe it's karma. And I think it's not the right question because there are no answer to this question. This is an observation. This is a thought. This is a belief that you have. Because when you are experiencing negative circumstances in your life, you are believing that the circumstances are negatives. You are interpreting them as negative and you are perceiving them because this is how you are seeing the world. It's not that the world is negative. It's not that the people are negative. It's that what you are interpreting of it is that it is negative. So there is a belief system going on there. There is a way of thinking and interpreting things through the lens of negative things happening to me. It's more about why and what. What am I feeling and why do I feel this way? How am I defining this? What are the definitions? What is my perception of this? What is my version of this? What do I think of this and why do I think it? So you name it and then you question the reason why you do think it or believe it. And once you have understood it, you can move to shifting it. You can move to questioning it and seeing it from other perspectives. Because here's the thing, in life, everything is happening right here and now. Life is not only black or white. This is a way of thinking. This is a belief that a lot of people do have. But it's not a truth, because if it was a truth, life will actually be for everyone, universally speaking, black or white. Yet, there are people that do think that there is no black or white, but there are full spectrum of colors. So there must be another way of seeing things. So whatever is happening to you, it can be positive, it can be negative, and there is the all way between one and the other. If I am noticing and becoming aware of how am I feeling about things, what feelings do I have about them, and how do I interpret them, I am able to already identify where am I putting it. Am I putting it on the positive, the negative, or in between? The ideal place to be in is neutral because life is. And then you can choose, and you really do can choose. Now you might be choosing from unconscious way of thinking because of what you have been taught to think, because of what you have been taught is the reality and the only alternative. But from the moment you just become aware that life is more than what we think of it. And if you get to the point where you really understand that it's not about what happens to us, it's about what happens within us, and you understand that you do have a perception of life, and it's a very unique and individual one based on your own experiences, on your own definitions, and your own belief system. This is going to help you to shift from one to the other. It's more about understanding how we function, because we all do function in the same way. And based on this perception of life, we are going to interact with things and people. We are going to relate to things in life. We are going to see them, feel about them, believe them, and speak about them and manifest them in our life. It's all based on how we are perceiving things. So when you become aware of this important thing, that is your power of perception, that in the past, up until the day you understand it for yourself, you have been seeing life through the lens of somebody else, be it your society, your religion, your environment, your friends, the school you have been in. You have been carrying their thoughts and beliefs and taken them for granted and relating to life based on those truths. But those truths are not truths. They are opinions that have been repeatedly ignited in our subconscious mind to the point that we become them. We started believing them and acted based on them. You will avoid being rich and having money, maybe. Or maybe you will define yourself as a failure because you don't have the money. But it's only a definition, it's not a truth. So, as long as it's not a truth, as long as there are other ways of seeing it and there is evidence of something different than that, I think it's already a huge demonstration for you that your perception can be shifted. The question is, do I want to shift my perception? Am I willing to open my mind and start seeing things in a different way? Am I willing to understand better what is my actual way of seeing and defining things in order to change it? Am I willing to open up and receive other ways of thinking and be an observer that really goes in a process of exploring myself and my definitions and being honest with myself in order for me to really shift whatever is not working for me? Am I going to be willing and able to be flexible, to modify whatever definition I have in order for it to serve me and do what it takes to do so? And it's honestly not that difficult to be a positive person. It's not difficult to be an optimistic. But if you believe that it's difficult, then you are going to be served. If you believe that life sucks, you're going to be served. You really need to get to a point where you understand that it's not life, it's you. Maybe you have been used to constantly blame everything and everyone, and believe that you are the victim. But this is also a story you tell yourself. And we are so many people to do so. We are used to blame circumstances and life and others. And we are very good at that. We have developed a very powerful habit of pointing the finger towards everything except us, of willing to make any change or transformation from the outside and not seeing inside. But it's not something that we need to blame anyone or ourselves about. It's just that we don't know how to do it. But it's something that we can learn and understand better. Here is where we are responsible. I am responsible of how I want to perceive something. I am responsible of how I want to respond to a situation. Playing the victim is something that is in everyone. You can notice it all over the place. Everyone is blaming everyone else and everything else, and we never own our part of it. Acknowledge our responsibility on whatever is happening to us. I'm not telling that there are no bad circumstances in life. What I'm telling is that you are responsible of how you are going to perceive it. One circumstance could be the same for everyone in a country. And some people will thrive through it, and others will be victims and destroy themselves with it. You can see in the history of humanity how many circumstances and catastrophes happened in the world. And there have been people that have been the victim, and they keep telling the story of them as victims. And you will also notice that in the same time, new opportunities have been created. People have really made a fortune through it. They changed their life, they improved it, they leveled it up in the same country, the same conditions, and two, three, or many perceptions and interpretations and different results. It's all on your attitude. If you have an unconscious, unaware attitude about life, if you are reacting to life, it means that you are not self-aware. That's all that is. It's not that you are not lucky. It's not that people are bad. It's not that life is bad. It's that you are relating to everything in a very unique attitude that maybe is not allowing you to respond to life with a positive attitude. But it's in your attitude. And what is attitude? It is how I respond to anything that is happening. And it comes from understanding that I need to be self-aware and to distance myself from the circumstance, from my feelings, from my beliefs, my emotions, my definitions, and understand that I have the power to create the experience I want to have with anything that I meet in my life. That is in my head. I am going to decide whether this experience is going to be good or bad for me. I'm going to choose if I'm going to make it mean something good for me or bad. I'm going to choose to either see the lesson in it and the teaching and grow through it, or see in it the curse or the punishment or a validation of any negative belief I do have about myself and my life. If I get to the point where I am self-aware, I already am able to decide and define what attitude I'm going to have. It has never been about how life is bad or good. It has never been about the conditions that we are in. It had never been about what happened to us in our life. Never. Those are things that happen and they are neutral. They don't have any meaning on them, really. Once I understand that everything is, it doesn't have any meaning. And I understand that I am responsible of the meaning that I am going to choose to give to it and the way I want to experience it, the story I want to tell myself about it and to believe about it, you will notice that you already are in a huge, amazing position. The observer of your own self and the circumstances that you have around you. And then I choose if I want to keep reacting or I want to start responding. The majority of people react. They react to life. They react to other people. They react to circumstances. Reaction, for me, in my opinion, is coming from lack of awareness, lack of consciousness. It's coming from ignoring what is really happening and why it is happening. Ignoring our power to choose how to define things and how to experience them. And that's why a lot of people do it. It doesn't make it true though. Because if everybody is saying that life sucks and it's unfair and bad things keep happening to you or to others, it just means that there is a consciousness around it, and that is the way that this paradigm is running the situation and the environment and most of people. And it's something that became unconscious. So people just react in automatic to anything. They don't even take the time to stop and try to understand if it is appropriate to react, if it makes sense to give my power. Does it make sense to be offended by what someone tells you? Does it make sense to allow somebody else to define who you are? based on the trailer that they have seen about you. Does it make sense to doubt yourself because someone made a comment or a judgment about a behavior you've had or a word you've said or maybe a mistake you have made? This is what reacting is. It's constantly taken for granted whatever is happening, whatever somebody else says, and shaking yourself and your existence and your self-esteem and self-image because of that external thing. Things that don't have any power on you, and unless you allow them to. Because if you think about it, it has never been about what others think of you or say or tell you. It's more about what you are making it meaning. If you doubt yourself, if you are not self-confident, if you don't know yourself very well, everyone will be able to trigger you. Everyone will be able to control you. And it's going to be a very hard life. And we do all agree that being a reactive person, not aware of ourselves, of the power that we have, and not aware of the importance of choosing to respond rather than react, we will be having a very hard time in this life. No wonder that we will be thinking that life is hard and unfair and people are bad. And no wonder that we will keep blaming everything and everyone, because we are giving our power to them. In my opinion, being the victim of this life or the circumstances, it's simply telling to the world, here is myself, and you have all the power to do whatever you want with me. Play with my mind, play with my life, choose for me, and I'm gonna blame you, but I have nothing to do with it, and you are gonna be in the same shit all the time. And it doesn't take you anywhere. You can see around you and see for yourself. If you have been blaming constantly, where did that take you? I'm sure nowhere. You kept blaming yourself, feeling bad, and constantly proving to yourself that others are right, the world is bad, and life is bad. But if you want to get out of this negative life and negative attitude, you need to first understand and own your own responsibility on your life. You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for what happens within you. No matter what is happening outside of you, no matter what the circumstances, no matter how challenging and hard and negative they might sound, it's up to you to choose how to respond to them. If you understand that really, it's about how am I gonna perceive it? And I can tell you, I have been through a lot of negative things in my life, and I keep having negative things. And I think there is no human being in life that do have a linear life where everything is constantly amazing. It's not about what is happening, it's about our attitude. Optimistic people are people that do not waste their energy engaging on negative thoughts and negative experiences and perceptions because they know that it's not worth it. It doesn't need their time and attention. It is not relevant for their experience. I don't have to engage on a negative thought, and I don't have to engage in anticipating the worst case scenarios and blaming everyone and everything and beating myself. What makes sense is for me, for example, if I need to think about the past and what I have done, I don't want to be engaging with it out of feeling guilty or ashamed. If I go to the past, it's because there is a lesson I want to use today. It is a useful lesson for me, so I'm gonna make it. And I'm not gonna engage on it to blame myself for what I have done. I might have done mistakes. I might have failed so many times, myself or people. That's all right. I did my best with what I've had. Now what? If someone speaks to me in a bad way, maybe they offend me or try to offend me. Maybe they judged me about my behavior. I am not going to allow it to define who I am because I know that nobody knows me as good as I know myself. If you criticize me, if you give me a feedback, before I take it for truth and take it personally, I will first of all step back and observe what is coming from that person. If it's something that is triggering me, because it's about the trigger, it's not about what they said. And my triggers inform me about seeing things in my life that I need to dress and to heal or to redefine. It's not that there is something wrong with me. So if there is a trigger, I'm going to question what is the trigger? Why does it happen? What happened within me? What was the meaning I'm given to it? And how can I change it today? Because I am not the same person. When did that happen the first time? And how can I see it better today? Where can I heal myself? Where can I listen to myself? Where can I see myself in a better way? How can I improve myself and feel better about it? Because it's not about what they said, it's about what I made it mean for me. And I always remind myself that everyone around me don't know me the way I know myself, and vice versa. So their opinion is just their perception of me. And their perception is based on something that they are experiencing from their point of view of me. So I respect it, I understand it, but I know that it's not attacking or offending my whole person. Because we need also to remember this and to understand it. We are all human being whole, complete. We are not a mistake we made or an experience that we have done. I think that in order to become a positive person and to start seeing things in a positive way, to shift into a positive attitude towards anything in life, it's important to really understand that we are whole, as well as life is whole and everything is whole and everybody. And we need to really stop making our judgment in a generic way, in a broad way, because of a trailer that we are seeing, and make it mean that something is negative or positive. There are a lot of things between the two, and it doesn't have to always have a positive or a negative meaning. It's okay also to keep it neutral. Just acknowledge it and move on. It doesn't have all to be taken from us personally. It's not all the time personal. What is important is our perception of what is happening. What are we going to make it mean for us? And this is something that can be applied to anything in our life. So the message, the most important message, if we want to shift from being a negative, pessimistic person that keeps attracting negative things, is really to understand that it's not that negative things keep happening to us. It's that we are somehow making everything sound for us negative. And this is something that we can change. You have to practice, because being a pessimistic or a negative person or having negative thoughts in general is a habit of thought. And a habit of thought is just a habit. The moment you become aware of it and you are looking for answers all over the place, you are already self-aware. You are aware that you are having a pattern of thought that is for you negative. You don't like it, you don't prefer it, and you don't want it anymore. So you are aware of what is going on with you. Now it's about becoming honest with yourself. What is it that I am feeling and thinking for me to give this meaning or to react this way to life? To react negatively, to be afraid, to be skeptical, to be doubtful. What is it? After the what, why? Is there any other way to see it and define it? What are my options? What is the evidence of what is what I prefer? Because you will always find it. And then start taking this action. Start really noticing from a place of consciousness and willingness only the brighter side of anything. Start, because you know that one thing is neutral and I am giving it a meaning. If I react, I'm reacting from a place of habits of thoughts and beliefs. So I do keep react to things in the same way. If I start becoming self-aware and choosing to respond, I am already a step ahead. Now I am aware. So when something happened to me, it's not happening to me. It's happening for me. Now, how can I use it? How can I interpret it? What am I going to make it mean for me? I can make it mean that things are happening for me, to serve me. It could be a lesson. When it's something that is really bad, there is a teaching. It's teaching you resilience. It's teaching you maybe discipline, maybe self-love, maybe compassion. Maybe it's teaching you or showing you that this is something that you don't prefer and it's time to change it. So it's an invitation for you to grow. It's not a punishment. Your feelings and your beliefs are not here to punish you. They are not a curse. It's not a proof that life sucks. It's just an invitation to shift and change things, to make new choices and decisions in your life. I really hope that this can help you reconsider and understand that it's really not about life. It's not really about people or anything or any circumstance. It's really on your hand to really start understanding that you are the responsible. And being the responsible is a blessing. It's a power you have in your hand, and you get to choose how to use it. And if you wonder why bad things keep happening to you, I have a video that can help you on that. I will link it in the description below. If you found value on this video, feel free to like it, to comment, and to share it with whomever might benefit from it. And if you haven't done yet, please subscribe to my channel so you can see more often my content. I really appreciate your time and appreciate your attention, and I really can't wait to see you in my next video.